Alrighty. On Seesaw, if you would please click on that activities to refresh your feed. And you will see that you have an activity called Those Shoes Character Traits. Those Shoes is a text that you most likely know. It is a very, very, very popular book in elementary school because it is a book that teaches a lot of great life lessons. So we're going to take a look at those shoes today, and we're going to think about the characters inside of the text that are teaching us life lessons and come up with some words to describe their internal traits. Remember, that's what they think, what they feel, what they say, how they act. It's things that their brain makes them do. Okay? So those shoes character traits. Go ahead and click on that add response. Alrighty. Slide 1 is going to give us an overview of our goal for today. Here is our goal.
Today we are going to continue working with character traits. We are going to work on describing characters by their traits, motivations, and feelings using text evidence. Yesterday you looked at a list of character traits. Today we are going to be focusing on what we call fast character traits, feelings, actions, sayings, and thoughts. What is the character like? What are their feelings? What actions do they have? What did they say? And what do they think? How this relates with our character traits list over here. For feelings, we might come over here and we might see our feelings are really right here, confident and nervous. These are how people feel in this box here. Also, sometimes they come up here, like calm, humble. Actions are what people do and how they act. A lot of times those come down here under the does a lot and does very little. You will find some actions to describe character traits here. Sayings include things that people say, how they treat other people. Those also can come here under positive and negative character traits. They might say things that are fair, that are honest. They might say things that are trustworthy. And then our thoughts here could be all over the place. Some thoughts that people have might make them evil, might make them sensitive. Some thoughts that people might have might make them thoughtful, likable. They might also be fearful or shy. So as you can see, our feelings, actions, sayings, and thoughts can have some different places where they are found on this list, but a lot of them mix up into other places. Today, you'll be using this character traits list along with another one to describe characters by their traits, motivations, and feelings using text evidence.
Did you see that word humble, Terrence, right there? You see that one? You see it? Humble. It's in pink. All right, so character traits. You're going to be using that list today to come up with some lists. Here's what you're going to do to warm up. Here are some character traits inside of this box. Choose a character trait. Give an example of how someone's actions can demonstrate this character trait. When you are done, share with a partner. So I'm going to do one as an example with you guys. You don't have to copy mine. I'm going to choose the word conceited. Okay, so the trait is conceited. All right, now there might be words on here that you don't know what they mean, and that's okay. Just don't do that word. Okay, conceited. And here's an example of how someone's actions can make them conceited. Okay, here we go. Most of my students are conceited, I'm right, and confused because they think they can sing better than Beyonce. That is conceited. It's crazy. So there's our character trait. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'd like for you to look at your character traits here, and I'd like for you to see a character trait that you know and come up with a way that you know someone is that way. Okay, so you don't have to do the one that I did. You guys can choose one from up here. There we go. And write down a way that you know someone is that way. Okay, I'm going to give you a moment to work, and then we're going to share, right, as you can see here, when you're done, we're going to share out. So right now, choose a word from this list. Some of the words are responsible, dishonest, friendly, humble, patient, loving, trustworthy, immature, brave, conceited, kind, shy, gentle, serious, fearless. Take a look at that list. Come up with one or more that you know the meaning of, and write down how you can tell someone is being that way, that is a character trait that someone has. So if you choose shy, how do you know someone's shy? If you choose serious, how do you know that someone's serious? Take a minute to write a sentence. Alrighty, if you are not done yet, keep working as we're sharing, but we're going to listen to some classmates' examples of character traits and how the person could feel, act, say, or think in that situation, okay? All right, Terrence, what character trait did you select?
Let me share my screen.
Oh, gotcha. Hold on. That's because I was sharing. There you go.
So it's fearless. He helps people and he is a good guy.
Who did?
Fearless.
So fearless is a character trait that means that they don't have fear. How do you know someone doesn't have fear?
No, that's a person in real life.
So thank you, but look at the title. It says some character traits. So in this situation, we're focusing on it as a character trait. So
okay.
Can you think of someone?
I'll redo one.
Okay, let me know when you're ready with it.
Okay.
Leah.
So what I did is loving, because my teacher loves all her students and I love her back.
Oh, thank you, Leah. I appreciate that. Loving, yeah. So we can tell that someone is loving when you just look at them, you're like, man, they love me, or they love people. They're super kind. That you can tell they care, they check in on them. Yeah, so loving. Great. William, did you have one to share?
It's about my little brother.
All right.
So I chose kind.
Okay, and how do you know he's kind?
Oops, I messed up. He's kind because he helps me out a lot.
Okay, and that is a kind thing to do. It shows that you are nice to someone or that you care about them. Awesome, thank you for sharing. Christopher, do you have one to share?
I'm kind, and I think my teacher is kind.
Well, thank you. So let's share an example. How do you know that someone is kind? How do you know that your teacher is kind?
Because she can help out people.
Awesome. Add that onto your sentence. So my teacher is kind because she helps people out. Perfect. So giving that example of an action or a feeling or a saying of some kind. All right. So I have one right now. Frank is confused because he thinks his shirt goes over his face. Oh, Oh, he's not confused anymore. Hello, Frank. Good to see your face. Love your eyes. All right, Terrence, did you get that fixed yet? All right, go for it, sir.
Okay. So, not humble. Somebody that does not like to tell and likes to tell lies. Susa.
All right, someone that is not humble is conceited. Humble and conceited are antonyms or opposites of each other. So Terrence is dishing it back out at me. That's fine. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, you will.
Aiden G, did you have one to share?
Yeah. I put, for my thing, I put fearless and brave. I am not scared of monsters and not the dark, because if someone tries to it should say scare me, I will be fearless and brave, because I put fearless and brave.
Okay, so those are two examples of things that people are usually scared of, monsters in the dark, and he's saying that he's not afraid of those, so he is fearless without fear. Wonderful.
By the way, monsters are real.
Thank you for sharing that. All right, anybody else want to share one? All right, wanted to make sure I gave everybody the opportunity. Okay. So now we're going to take a look at a text today that has some characters that have pretty obvious character traits. Okay, you're going to be able to tell very quickly what type of traits can describe these people. If you would, please look at slide 3. I'm going to play this video of directions and of an example, and then we're going to work on some together.
Here we have a character traits list based on synonyms. For example, instead of saying someone is nice, here are different words that could describe them. Instead of saying someone is tricky, here are some other words that could also describe them. We're going to look at this character here in the middle, Stitch, Experiment 626, and label him with some character traits based on being fast, his feelings, actions, sayings, and thoughts. I'm going to focus first on actions because I find it to be the easiest. One action that I would say that he has is I would say that Stitch is very adventurous. He is always doing things and exploring and kind of getting into trouble, but still not afraid of them. If I was to look at his feelings, I would definitely say for his feelings that Stitch is very, very kind-hearted. He cares deeply for his family and the people that he lives with. Some of his things that he says are very hysterical. He can be so funny with the different things that he says and noises that he makes. His thoughts that he has are very brilliant. He's very smart, and the things that he thinks of are very smart. I could add more, but keeping with 4 is a good idea. Today, you are going to be continuing on and using different characters that you are familiar with and some that are new to you. You will be using fast, thinking about their feelings, actions, sayings, and thoughts, and coming up with character traits.
All right, if you haven't already picked up on that, when we're talking about character traits and thinking fast, that's an acronym. Feelings starts with an F, actions starts with an A, sayings starts with an S, and thoughts starts with a T. So thinking fast, F-A-S-T, are some clues that can help you figure out character traits. So if you're looking at a character and you're like, I don't know, well, you can look at what are they feeling in the book. What actions are they taking? Okay. Are they helping someone up when they fall, or are they slapping somebody across the face? Right? That's an action. That's something that you can do. Okay. What are they saying in the text? Are they saying, yes, ma'am, okay? Or are they saying, you're stupid? Okay, so the things that they say can give you clues about how they are, their character traits. And then the thoughts. A lot of times in books, it will show us what a character is thinking, or it will say, like, I was thinking, wow. And we can think about how their brain is working as well. Okay, we're going to take a look at a Finding Nemo clip. And you have two jobs, actually. Your first job is to discuss the character traits of Nemo. Okay, so as you're watching this, I want you to be thinking fast, F-A-S-T, feelings, actions, saying, thoughts, about Nemo. Okay, what is Nemo's character traits? Okay, how is he feeling? How is he acting? What is he saying? What is he thinking? All right. Second job is to also at the same time be thinking about his dad. His dad's name is Marlin. Okay. How is Marlin's character traits? Think fast about him. Feelings, actions, sayings, and thoughts. All right. So think about these characters as we're watching. What character traits would you use to describe them?
First day of school! Wake up! Wake up! Come on, first day of school!
I don't want to go to school. 5 more minutes.
Not you, Dad, me!
Okay.
Get up!
Huh?
Get up! Time for school! Time for school! Time for school! Time for school!
All right, I'm up. It's time for school.
Boy! Whoa!
Nemo!
First day of school!
Nemo, don't move! Don't move! You'll never get out of there yourself. I'll do it. All right, where's the brake? You feel a brake? Sometimes you can't tell because fluid is rushing into the area. Now, any rushing fluids? Are you woozy? How many stripes do I have?
I'm fine.
Answer the stripe question.
3.
No! See, something's wrong with you. I have 1, 2, 3. That's all I have? Oh, you're okay. How's the lucky fin?
Lucky.
Let's see. Are you sure you want to go to school this year? Because there's no problem if you don't. You can wait 5 or 6 years.
Come on, Dad. It's time for school.
Forgot to brush.
Oh.
Do you want this anemone to sting you?
Yes.
Brush.
Okay, I'm done.
Up, you missed a spot.
Where?
There. Right there. And here.
All right, so I want you to think right now about what you just saw with Nemo and Marlin. Take a look at this list over here and see if you can find some traits that describe Nemo and Marlin. If you think of one or you see one, I'd like for you to unmute and share it out, and we'll record it and talk about how we know it's true.
Playful.
Who's playful?
Terrence.
We're talking
Both of them. Both of them.
Okay, how do you know that they're both playful?
Because at the end, I saw they were playing like he missed a spot and he was just trying to tickle him.
Yeah, his dad was like, missed a spot, and then Nemo was laughing back. So yeah, playful would be a character trait that could describe both of them. Great. More ideas.
Frightful.
Who?
Bright.
Oh, who was frightful, Dad or Nemo?
Nemo is bright, like nice.
Oh, he's bright. Yeah. So bright would mean that he thinks really smart. Okay, maybe kind or nice. How do you know he was kind or nice?
Because he wasn't mean to his dad.
Okay, so maybe we could use the word respectful. Yeah, so if someone's respectful, they show respect to other people, they use kind words. Very good. Josh.
Excited.
Who's excited, Marlin or Nemo?
Nemo.
How do you know he was excited?
Because he was playing around and being hyper.
He was super hyper. He was like, hey, it's time for school. Wake up. Hey, let's go. He was grabbing his dad's fins. He was pulling him up. He definitely seemed excited. And we could tell that by his actions, what his body was doing, and his sayings coming out of his mouth. Okay.
Marlin sleeping.
Oh, sorry, Terrence.
I think Nemo's hyper.
How do you know he's hyper?
Because he was running around Marlin and saying, I want to go to school. Come on, it's school.
So 2 things that you looked at, his actions and his sayings. Terrence, you said that Marlin was sleepy. How do you know that?
He was laying down.
He was like, no, 5 more minutes. Come on. No, I don't want to get up. No. Yep. So laying there. Oscar.
It's sometimes like he's unsure or uncertain.
That's a great one. Uncertain. How do you know that his dad was uncertain or unsure?
Well, because I've seen the movie a lot of times, and like when like Nemo does wants to do something, and like his dad is too scared for him to do it. Like he's
Yeah.
like scared, like unsure.
We saw a little bit of it in that clip where his dad was like, no, you don't have to go to school. It's okay. And then his son fell out and he was like, oh, and it was totally fine. But his dad was really overreacting and was thinking like, oh my gosh, thinking really big thoughts.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Oscar. Aiden G.
Nemo's dad was calm.
Was calm. How do you know?
So when he woke up, he was not like around everywhere.
Yeah. So his actions and his behaviors in that moment. Very good. William. William, we cannot hear you.
I noticed in the clip that Nemo was actually Marlin was he was really unsure because he couldn't tell if Nemo was okay or not. So he was kind of scared.
Scared, yeah. So maybe we can use the word fearful. Fearful means that you're full of fear. He just kept thinking everything was going to go wrong. Like something's going to go wrong at school. The anemone is going to sting you. Oh my gosh, you can't get out of there by yourself. All these things. He was really full of fear there. Leah, give us one last one.
He's too protectful.
Who is?
Marlin. He wants his son to be okay, so he's too protectful.
So, yeah, overprotective. There we go. So overprotective is a word that we often use to describe people who kind of do too much for other people, right? So like overprotective means that like you always think something's going to go wrong. You're always there to save that person. You don't really let them solve their own problems. Like Marlin said, you'll never get out of there by yourself. He didn't even let his son try to solve his own problem. He just did it for him. So overprotective is a word that we can use to describe that. Wow, guys, look at you. In the past, I've had 3rd graders just give me these boring words up here like mean, sad, nice, but you guys are looking at the synonyms, going deeper, using your creative imaginations. I love it. All righty, that takes us to slide 5. Now, slide 5 is a video of the book that you're getting ready to read. We copied the pages for you on slides 6 through slides 13, okay? So on slides 6 through slides 13, there's no work. These are just the pages of the book, but here's what I want you to do. As I'm playing the video, I want you guys to follow along and turn the page, quote unquote, when the book is turning the page and reading a new one, okay? I want you guys to use the highlighter tool and highlight when you see a feeling, an action, a saying, or a thought that gives you a clue about a character trait, okay? So you're going to look in the text and you're going to highlight clues about character traits. So if someone does something that's kind for someone, I want you to highlight it. If someone is rude to someone, I want you to highlight it. Okay, so look for clues inside of that character trait. All right. Any questions about what I want you to do? All right. Frank! Up and at him, sir. Up and at him. All right, here we go.
Today we're going to read Those Shoes by Maribeth Boltz. It is illustrated by Nora Z. Jones. Genre: a story that tells about events that could really happen is realistic fiction. Characters are the people in the story. This story is told by a character named Jeremy. He uses words like I, me, and my to tell his story.
Next page, page
I have
7.
dreams about those shoes. Black high tops, 2 white stripes. Grandma, I want them. There's no room for want around here, Grandma says. What you need are new boots for winter. Brandon T. comes to school in those shoes. He says he's the fastest runner now, not me. I was always the fastest runner before those shoes came along. Next, Alan Jacoby and Terrence each get a pair.
Aw, Terrence. Slide set 8. 8.
Then, one day, in the middle of kickball, one of my shoes comes apart. Looks like you could use a new pair, Jeremy, Mr. Alfrey, the guidance counselor, says. He gives me a pair of shoes with a cartoon animal on it. When I come back to the classroom, the only kid not laughing is Antonio Parker. At home,
I'm going to highlight that right there. The only kid not laughing is Antonio Parker. So here's Antonio. The rest of the class is laughing at Jeremy's cartoon shoes, but Antonio Parker is not. So that kind of gives me some clues about Antonio, that he's different from the other kids. He's also showing kindness. Everyone else is laughing at Antonio or at Jeremy. Antonio is not. That gives me a clue about his character traits. Okay, let's continue on. We're going to be at the bottom of slide 8. We're about to go to slide 9.
Home, Grandma says, "How kind of Mr. Alfrey." I nod and turn my back. I'm not going to cry about any dumb shoes.
Slide 9.
On Saturday, Grandma says, "Let's check out those shoes you're wanting so much. I got a little bit of money set aside. It might be enough. You never know." At the store, Grandma turns those shoes over. She checks the price. When she sees it, she sits down heavy. "Maybe they wrote it down wrong?" I say. Grandma shakes her head.
Slide 10.
Then I remember the thrift shops. We ride the bus to the first one. There's every kind of shoe except the ones I want. We ride the bus to the second thrift shop. Not a pair of those shoes in sight. Around the corner is the third thrift shop. I see something in the window. I shove my foot into the first shoe. Grandma feels for my toes at the end of the shoe. High tops. Perfect shape. $2.50. Those shoes.
Slide 11.
"Oh, Jeremy," she says, "I can't spend good money on shoes that don't fit." "They're okay," I say, curling my toes. Then I buy them with my own money. A few days later, Grandma puts a new pair of snow boots in my closet. She doesn't say a word about my 2 big feet shuffling around in my 2 small shoes. "Sometimes shoes stretch," I say.
Slide 12.
I check every day, but those shoes don't stretch. I have to wear my Mr. Alfrey's instead. One day during math, I glance at Antonio's shoes. One of them is taped up, and his feet look smaller than mine. That night, I am awake for a long time thinking about Antonio. I'm not going to do it. When morning comes, I run across the street to Antonio's apartment. I put the shoes in front of his door. I push the doorbell and run.
Okay, so what just happened here is that Jeremy is giving those shoes to Antonio. Those shoes that he wanted for such a long time, that he searched for, he spent his own money on, and then he said, nope, I'm just going to have to give them away. And he gave them to Antonio. Remember, Antonio didn't laugh at him, and he noticed that Antonio's shoes were taped up as well. Slide
At school,
13.
I feel happy when I look at Antonio's face and mad when I look at my Mr. Alfrey shoes. Later, snow is everywhere. Then I remember what I have in my backpack. New black boots. Standing in line to go to recess, Antonio leans forward. Thanks, he says. I smile and give him a nudge. Let's race.
All right. So that is our text. Hopefully, as we were reading, you were able to highlight some evidence of character traits because you are going to need it for slides 14 through 17 today. Okay. This is your independent work. On slides 14 and 15, 16, and 17, there are characters here. Take a look at slide 14. The character that we are talking about is Grandma. Okay. You are going to discuss the character traits of Grandma, and using FAST, you're going to discuss why you chose one of those traits. So I'm going to pop you into some breakout rooms, and I want you to think about Grandma. If you need to, go back and look at the text pages where Grandma is and see what she felt, what she did, what she said, and what she thought. And you in your breakout room are going to come up with 3 character traits for Grandma. 1, 2, 3. Okay. If you double click here, you'll be able to type inside of the box, theoretically. How strange. Oh, it's because it's locked. There you go. You'll be able to type character traits inside of the box, and you're going to come up with 3. Okay. Any questions about what you're getting ready to do with your breakout room? Terrence.
You just gave us one answer.
I showed you one, but I don't really think we have a lot of evidence for Grandma being kind. It's not that she wasn't kind, but she didn't necessarily do any kind actions or sayings. So we can find better ones for sure. All right. Okay, here come your invites to your breakout room together. Alrighty, I want to hear from you. I'm going to record some of your ideas. I want to hear the character traits that you came up with and the clues that you had for them. So we're talking about Grandma. Who had a character trait for Grandma? William.
One of my character traits was caring.
How do you know that she was caring?
Because in this text on slide 10, it says that she was also thinking about him because she also, well, was it slide 10? I'm trying to think. It might have been, yeah, or was it that slide 9? Yeah, because it says she has some money left and she might get him for him.
She said she had some money saved up and she was willing to spend it on him. And look at William with that specific evidence from the text. My man knew the page and exactly what he was talking about. Love it. Other character traits that can describe Grandma. Terrence.
So she was trying to help him.
Helpful. How do you know she's helpful?
Because on slide 9, like William said, she was thinking about him and she wanted to get him some new shoes, but they cost too much and he couldn't fit the other one, so she just let him buy him.
Yep.
But she bought him some new boots.
She did. She knew he was going to need new boots, so she helped him get ready for the cold. That's great evidence. I might also add slide 2 that, look, she was willing to go all over town. They went to the first thrift shop. Then Grandma went to the second thrift shop with him. was driving around. As you said, she did get him some black boots right here because she knew he was going to need them. So she helped him for sure. Excellent. Aiden G, a character trait for grandma.
Truthful.
Truthful. How do you know she's truthful?
Because when she said she might bite him, she wasn't telling a lie. She told him that she might.
Yeah, she was very honest with him. She said, we might be able to do this. She said, it might be enough. You never know. And then she also told him in the store, hey, kiddo, I can't spend good money on shoes that don't fit, right? So she was letting him know the truth in those situations, even though it was hard. Very good. Okay. Today, you are going to complete slides 15 through 18 for independent work. On slides 15 and 16, you are going to take a look at the character traits that are already there. So slide 15, this character is kind, friendly, and grateful. You are going to match the character on the right with that trait. So you can take their name and put it inside of the box if it's that character. Then here's where your real work is. Use FAST to record why you chose that character. Okay, if you just do this and then turn it in, I'm going to send it back to you because that shows me that you know how to move a slide. Congratulations. It does not show me that you understand character traits. Okay, so you're going to choose which character is kind, friendly, and grateful. And then you're going to record how you know it's that character. Same thing on slide 16. There is a character that is helpful, dependable, and giving. You are going to move that character's name into the box, and you are going to record why you chose that character. Again, if you just drag a name, I'm going to send it back to you because you did not give me any evidence that you understand. You just showed me that you know how to move a tile. Okay, so evidence. On slide 17, I am asking you to come up with 3 character traits that describe Jeremy. And again, use the microphone to record why you chose those traits. Okay, so what we just did with Grandma was practicing the recording. So what William, what Terrence, what Aiden G, the evidence that they gave, I know that because Grandma did this. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to hear. Okay, giving your evidence. Slide 18, grab that microphone again to describe your success with today's skill. Were you successful at describing a character, or were you not yet successful at describing a character? And let me know why. Okay, so again, recording. If you turn this into me without a recording, I am going to send it back. Are we clear on that? Okay, awesome. All right, guys, that is your independent work for the day. If you do not have questions, you are welcome to go. I will see you back at 10:30 for math.